are in Eden, in my showroom in Paris, a space that is by appointment only, and it is where all of the Paradise Found fine erotic jewelry lives.
I'd like to put you in a trance if I take you from behind.
I'm celebrating 25 years of what now has come to be known as the Paradise Found collection, with a collection called Sado Chic. I actually coined the term Sado Chic 25 years ago to name a collection of objects that was more symbolic, with some functional qualities which became more and more functional as the collection evolved.
I hit you like a truck. I'll give you love. I'll teach you how to.
I ended up finding myself in Paris, which I think is the best place for me to be. It's a destination for people who love each other. And my mission is to dismantle the pleasure taboo and also the taboo of love. We are living in a world where sex is no longer a taboo, but pleasure and love are still taboo. I try to connect people and reinforce connection, and you'll see how, because it's also a physical connection as much as a symbolic connection. I also, over time, I started to work more and more with this idea of connecting and also finding a way to bring people or invite people to consider the whole body as a sexual organ that could be teased and pleased and turned on. Because if we only think of the genitals as a sexual space to play in, it's very limited. It's a tiny part of the body. Whereas the entire body is riddled with nerve endings, and the possibilities are infinite if we start to discover how to turn those other parts of the body on. No. I talk about the ceremony of Paradise Found in the Boudoir Bible, which is the title of my book, which is now in 7 languages. It's a bestseller in France. And yeah, ceremony is important. I think it's what raises the everyday to the sacred.
I don't think you know what pain is.
When I started to design the collection in 1992, I felt that there was a need to bring something more to the value of jewelry. And so my contribution to the jewelry world was the possibility to provide sensations. And many of the pieces, you would never guess that they were actually used to provide sensations. So there is this factor of empowerment as well. If you are wearing a ring that you know you can actually provide sensations with that you couldn't provide with your hands alone, there is something empowering about that. The Pleasure Puff is a ring that's made from ostrich feathers, and it is a tickle ring, but it's also a cocktail ring. You can spray it with your favorite perfume, and it's very fun to wear and feminine.
I like to do a different kind of erotic.
Some of them are for massages, some of them are for tickling, some of them are for scratching. Some of them connect you to your lover, actually with a little chain. So it's more symbolic, but there's something also psychologically very powerful about even wanting to give hand-holding a little extra push, no?
Only the one that inflicts pain can take it away. Erotic.
The idea was to make pieces that could go in and out of the boudoir with ease. And you can go to a cocktail party with a pleasure puff or silver whip attachment. Again, it's 80% of the collection can be worn out as jewelry. 20% of the objects are also objects that really can't go out of the boudoir. They are made to stay in the loving space, your temple, if you'd like to call it that way. And but 80% of them can actually be worn out as jewelry. I use noble materials. It's very important when we are dealing with the body, also used to use body-safe materials. And silver happens to be antibacterial. So I privilege silver a lot, especially for the objects that are used inside the body. I love to work with gold as well. I believe that durability is a very, very important criteria today. I use also other materials like leather and marble as of late. And everything is handmade in Italy. This year, I presented the boudoir box at Medusa at the Museum of Modern Art here in Paris. The boudoir box is a piece that I designed 18 years ago, and it had never been shown to the general public. And I decided that, being that she's 18 years old, she'd come of age, and so I agreed to finally put the piece in the light. And I think it's a time to stand in the light. Because if I'm going to make a difference in the world, I have to stand in the light. This edition of the box is an edition of 10. So it is a limited edition. And it is a heterosexual box. I do custom boxes for everyone else. But this box particularly was designed for heterosexual couples. So it has tools that work for both women and men. The boudoir box, it is a triptych, and it transforms a space. And I'm very interested in transformation, after all, whether it's a space or the way that your body moves through space, or the way that our hands actually can function, our fingers can function. Sometimes I consider my work prosthetics. They definitely change the way that we can provide sensation, and they're an addition to the body. It's an augmentation of the body. The box can also fit other pieces inside of it because it has compartments and drawers that open, so it can hold up to 80 pieces of jewelry. And it is a travel case. It is designed to go on the road. Pleasure is a very subjective thing. There are people who need more sensations to even perceive pleasure at all, and others who like to keep things light. So there's a little bit for everything in the collection, whether it's feathers or, in fact, the elegance maker is one of the harder tools and has to be used with skill. This is why I ended up writing the Boudoir Bible. Skill is important when it comes to using tools for enhanced pleasure.